if I'm around my family, I'm just gonna be like completely and utterly myself. Or with my friends, I'm gonna be completely and utterly myself. But like at work, I work in customer service, so I feel like I kind of have to have like a white person voice going on, which is like really odd in a way. Like I work in the suburbs, so the majority of the people are white. So I just feel like I kind of put on a front in a way to try to assimilate to the way that they think I should talk or the way I think I should talk based on what I hear in my environment. Even if I feel like there's more pressure on me in a sense to try to be perfect because I don't want to be a stereotype for my race, I guess.
I think most of the time, honestly, most of the time I am not. I don't really think about it. I was adopted and brought to this country at 11 months old. So when I was adopted, I didn't really, thank you. I didn't really, I grew up with a white set of parents. And so I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about the fact that I was Korean and they were white because I was in a white household all the time. And most of my friends in my neighborhood at least were white. And then I'd go to school and there was such a mix of kids there that it didn't really affect me that I was different. As I've gotten older, it's changed. And definitely now as an adult, especially living in the community I'm living in and teaching in the district I'm teaching in, I'm much more aware than I've ever been in my life of my race. And I don't know that it's something that really changes how I do things. But there have been moments, you know, there's always those little moments of things that are subtle. Oh, people automatically assume that I'm the math teacher. And when they find out I'm the English teacher, that I've had multiple people be a little surprised by that.
This time is a little, it's more in a couple years ago, or 6 years ago. Before, it's quiet, nobody talked about the races. Right now is with a, talked about a president.
Yep.
He's doing, start the races again.
Race is a deep thing. As being a black man in America, I just was blessed that I got a strong family and a very spiritual belief inside of me. But you feel like you're always on edge sometimes, and if you're not on edge, you can't be the angry black man when you have angry feelings at times and things like that. So it's just you always gotta second guess yourself. Down.
I think in a positive way because it's makes me unique, I would say. Just different perspective, I think. Perspective. The word to use for that. See things differently than other people.
I think it's maybe impacted me in a negative way through stereotypes or interactions with certain people, like going to school or riding my bike home as a kid and people yell nigger out the window or write nigger on my locker, or something goes missing and I'm the first person that gets asked about it. But it is what it is. But
I'd say for the most part my race has, it's a factor, but it's almost a non-factor. So like in school growing up, people would just see me as me. But growing older and, seeing things in the news and, police brutality, it doesn't directly affect me because I'm a black woman. But I know my brothers who are black males have faced a lot of discrimination from police officers simply because of the color of their skin. I haven't really faced it or really come up with any things of direct discrimination against me besides like looks in stores, which, gotta brush it off, but,
And then as I grew older, I guess I wouldn't say that that it's really negatively impacted me. If anything, it's just given me a different kind of identity that I think is important. And it affected me probably the most when I became a mom, because, and that was tied into being adopted as well, because I suddenly was like, oh, you know, this is the first person that I've ever met in my life that looks like me and has, you know, the same blood and the same facial features and things like that. So that was definitely a huge positive moment of just being able to realize that, you know, yeah, my kid doesn't look anything like my parents. My kid looks exactly like me.
So it's influenced me positively because I've been raised around strong, you know, black individuals. You know, I have deeper respect for history, so you know, Martin Luther King, you know, several different people that have had strong beliefs in the past. So I'm very happy with who I am.
I feel like people just always assume that I should behave a certain way or only listen to a certain genre of music and wear my clothes in a certain manner, and that I should love basketball and play basketball and not fish or hunt.
When I first started working at the packing plant, being that I'm brown, everybody automatically thought that I spoke Spanish. So like even the white people there, they would come up to me and they'd try to get a translator, and I just turn to them and be like, hey, I speak perfect English, whatever. And it always made things awkward because I feel like some of them are racist, so they always scare.
Alright, so my story is my grandfather. He was a very strong man. He owned his own business. It really kind of made me a stronger person because I really be truly honest with you, he did not want to work for the white man. He said, I am not ever going to work for the white man. So he had his own businesses. He had his own stores on corners. I mean, he helped his community out. He reminded me of a person that was like a great man, and everywhere we went, everyone stopped him. He was well loved. And it's just that race really is not a big issue unless you make it a big issue. You can overcome anything.
I think that to be non-white is a great thing. You know, I love being a black woman, a woman of color. I love what that holds. You know, there's a sisterhood when you see someone else out in the world like, hey sis, what's up? But I see how some people would want to change their skin color so that they, you know, would have better opportunities for better schools, better jobs, better this, better that. But, you know, you just gotta start to love who you are, even if no one else does. You know, it's just so sad that someone would want to change the color of their skin because they aren't given the opportunities that other people may be given, and that's just heartbreaking to me because everyone should just learn to love who they are, and those who oppose people of color, especially black people, they need to learn that, you know, this is the world we live in. We live in a melting pot. We live like in a great world where a big rainbow exists, and that's America, and that's just how it's gonna be. So if people were just a little more open-minded, it'd be a much better place to live.
It's a beautiful thing.
Why?
Because I'm different than everyone I go to work with every day.
And you like that?
I like being different in certain circumstances, yes. Think that maybe my white counterparts probably haven't had to experience some of the things that I've had to experience growing up, or been asked, you know, like the silly questions of, can I touch your hair? Or just dumb stuff like that. or experience prejudice, people shying away from you when you're walking, you know, on the sidewalk and stuff like that.
Those guys thinking that color is different. That inside is not different.
It's not different.
Those guys thinking that white is the best in the world or something like this, but it's not. Depending how you thinking and you feeling. The person, I don't care what is the color. Nobody knows thinking the color. Only those that white people thinking that white is more smart than everybody.
Okay.
It's never is like this.
All right, it's you have to work harder than most people. Opportunities are not as great as it would be if I wasn't white. You know, if I was white. If I was white, I would have all the opportunities in the world. You're always worried when you leave the house sometimes if you're gonna make it home, and that's the truth.